Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans with me, your host, Trevor Stewart, 1308. And we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat and the Peanut Gallery. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Pardon me. I sneezed right before we went on, and I'm just a little stuffy. So we will be playing along with NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me this week with guest Cynthia Nixon. But before that, let's get into our ad read. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, 105 West Main Street, on the downtown mall above the Brick, Suite 200. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. A bud, and the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. They also have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. Don't forget to check the website for times and events, such as Frosty Friday sales event, where you can find our other two sponsors, Firehouse. Where there's smoke, there's Firehouse. And Kush Gang, purveyor of fine edibles and drinkables. Now, because we are playing along with NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, and NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is quite often a political show, we are going to give a note of disclaimer. Any political opinions you hear herein belong to the expressor of the opinion, possibly to the channel and or the parent company, but none of the opinions belong to our sponsors, including Hidden Leaf, Kush Gang, and Firehouse. What's up, Master Rasta 420? Good to see ya. I know you're hanging out over there at the Sunday No Pants Raid Train right now with JB 1200. An amazing DJ, lots of fun. Master Rasta 420 has been DJing under the name Master Selecta 420. Also been a lot of fun. Pretty good DJ. Starting to learn better than me. I give him credit there. He's a better DJ than me, and he hasn't been doing it for as long, I don't think. All right. I guess, are we ready to get into this?
I think we are.
All right.
Everybody got their pen and paper?
Pen and paper. Let me do this. And then do this. How long have you been DJing for, Master? Sound check.
Hey, NPR listeners. Each year, NPR invites students from around the country to submit their audio stories to NPR's Student Podcast Challenge. Click to learn more and listen to stories from recent winners. Support for NPR and the Student Podcast Challenge come from Progressive Insurance. Get a quote online at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This message comes
from NPR and WBEZ Chicago. This is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. When you yell echo, I'm the voice that yells back.
That's a good one. That's a good
Bill
one,
Curtis,
Bill.
and here is your host at the Studebaker Theater at the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all so much. We are also excited because we have a great show lined up for you. Later on, we're going to be talking to the legendary actor Cynthia Nixon, star of, among many other things, Sex and the City and its sequels. And I am particularly excited because for years, people have been telling me that I remind them of a character in the show, Mr. Big. And I've never myself watched the show. I'm assuming that's a compliment. He's a great guy. And that, to this day, he's...
Okay. Jerry, thank you. Thank you for the $25 donation to NPR. Thank you very much. That's a big deal. Thank you. And we don't have anything set up for that right now yet.
No, we don't.
We need to get there. Master Rasta 420 said, "Wicked, Wiata gifted me a mixer about a year ago when I was back in the UK, but started learning and practicing more regularly about 8 months ago on lockpicks decks." That makes sense. It's about 8 months, a year to 8 months of practicing. That's, a year to 8 months of practicing is especially if you have someone to help you, someone who knows what they're doing to help you. Yeah. Okay, so we do need to come up with something. Some sort of that is a good that has an effect. I don't know what kind of something we need to come up with. An alert box would be good, but also some sort of, I don't know, something.
The NPR logo dancing around.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, that would be great. But I was also thinking, donation goals.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of ones that would go well. Things like impressions. If you do it, but my impression range is so limited that it's I don't know. I don't know exactly what impressions I'd be able to do. I mean, I'm working on Harry Carey so that I can do Harry Carey does Hello Dolly. But
right.
That's I am gonna end up having to do the Will Ferrell version of Harry Carey to make it recognizable.
You don't do impressions. You leave impressions.
My ego is so big, last time I fell down, I left a big impression.
That works.
Well, all right. We'll think about, we'll see what we've got. We'll come up with some ideas for donation. Eat X amount of gummies, write name on forehead or other body part, cosplay, karaoke, IRL stream, cooking stream, joke hour. Those are some ideas.
To go along with your impressions, what you could do is something like the epic movie voice guy. And whoever's making the donation in the moment, they get to request an attempt at an impression with a funny sentence.
All right, Jerry. You can, if you can come up with a fun sentence, I will say it in the style of the epic movie guy in a world where everything is narrated by this voice. You won't know what happened until it happened. There it is. $10 donation gets epic movie voice. So that would be 2 sentences. Jerry can choose 2 sentences to get me to say in epic movie voice.
Yeah.
Yep. And while they think about it, we're going to go on with the show.
Okay.
Epic movie voice. I'm John Ossoff, and I support this message. Tomato.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, John Ossoff. Thank you for that gift. Hi, Just Me Crystal. Much love. Great to see you. Oh, you got there before me. All right, we'll get on with the show.
Is alive and well, right? So it's all good. And just like that, it's your turn. So give us a call. The number is 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Now let us welcome our first listener contestant. Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Coop Daly. I'm calling from Jersey City, New Jersey.
Jersey City in New Jersey. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great as an NPR fan and Sexton City fan. This is a dream come true.
There you go. I mean, all your worlds are coming together. Well, welcome to the show, Coop. Let me introduce you to our panelists this week. First up, she is a comedian and host of the podcast Fake the Nation. You can see her new TED Talk on dating. It's Negin Farsad.
Hey, Negin.
Hey!
Next, a comedian who will be hosting the new Thank You Good Night show at Chicago's Second City every Friday in October. It's Mr. Adam Burke.
Hello.
Hey, Adam.
And making her debut on our panel this week, she's a comedian and writer for Saturday Night Live, whose work can be found online at kcshornima.com. It's Casey Shornima.
Hi, Casey.
Welcome to the show, Casey. And welcome.
Do we remember if Casey's been on before? If we recognize Casey?
I do not remember.
Does not sound familiar to me.
It sounds, she sounds ever so slightly familiar. But
again, I have the memory of a geriatric goldfish with brain damage.
What were we talking about?
You're going to hit play, that's what you're going to say.
Okay.
And welcome to the show, Coop. You're going to play Who's Bill this time. Bill Curtis, of course, is going to read you 3 quotations from this week's news. Your job, simply identify or explain 2 of them out of the 3. Do that, and you will win our prize, any voice from our show, and your voicemail. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's. Here is your first quote.
It's amazing. Melania and I didn't fall.
That was President Trump
Broken escalator.
Yeah, escalator.
an investigation into the malfunctioning what that delayed his arrival at the UN General Assembly this week.
Escalator.
The escalator.
The escalator. Just as the president...
Escalator broken. Temporarily stairs. Sorry for your convenience. Thank you, Mitch Hedberg, for that prescient joke.
As long as we have escalators, it will be topical and worth repeating.
Yes.
I know what it was. The escalator was worried about his health and said he needed his steps in.
There it
Add
is.
to that,
There
the
it
only
is.
reason that Melania would fall is because he pulled her down. Because have you seen the heels that she wears?
Nope.
I figured she just wore those heels as a form of self-protection.
Again, the only reason she would fall is if he pulled her down.
All right. Back to it.
Just as the president and first lady stepped onto an up escalator at the UN, it stopped with a jolt. Melania was just in front of him, so he came within inches of touching her for the first time in years. Everyone saw this. It happened, of course, on live TV. He is furious. On Wednesday, he demanded an investigation into whoever was responsible. Then on Friday, he held a press conference announcing that escalators cause autism.
I am really sorry we did not get that joke. That we didn't get to that joke yesterday. We really, I feel like we really should have. Like, it should have been in there.
We got to so many others. We're good.
I know.
You have to leave some for wait, don't tell me.
You had to let them.
Like, I remember when I was.
Oh, God. We were trying to elevator our game yesterday.
Really early memory. I must have been like 4 or 5 years old, and I was afraid to get on escalators. My mom was going up an escalator, and I was just too far behind her, and the escalator stopped.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, and she was at the top, and she was just like, "Just come up the stairs, like stairs." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my mom needed to be there for Trump to know like what to do in that moment, because like it helped, that helped me. But like Trump, as a 5-year-old, I immediately called the UN General Assembly, and I made it an international issue.
I don't know how much you believe in symmetry, but it would be nice if this guy's entire political career was bookended by escalators. Because he came down that one, and I think this escalator was like, we don't want any part of this anymore. Trump does look like a guy who thinks all stairs are just a broken escalator.
That's true.
Like he just stands there waiting for it to start working.
Yeah, he's standing there in front of like the marble steps in the Lincoln Memorial saying, "Why is this one broken?"
Maybe this will change the windmill rant into like escalator rants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here, Coop, is your next quote.
I paid $300 for a terrible seat for Merrily We Roll Along.
That was a commenter in a New York Times story explaining, in fact, why what New York institution is now in big trouble.
Broadway.
Yes, that's right, the Broadway musical. Not a single one of the 18 musicals that opened on Broadway this year have made a profit. That is terrible if they go away. Without Broadway musicals, how else could you spend $1,000 to sit in front of a lady who raps along with Lin-Manuel Miranda the entire time? Is this, Nagin, I understand this is upsetting news to you.
Okay, I live in New York City, and when you're in New York City, I went to a Rosh Hashanah dinner the way most Muslims do.
Right.
And so on Tuesday night, I was at a Rosh Hashanah dinner. Literally, there was a guy there that writes musicals for a living, and did he break out into a little Jewish New Year song? He did! And I'm like, that's because we live in New York City, this great thing where people will just be like, Happy New Year! And it's so, like, it's such a part of the fabric of New York, and the idea that people don't want to be annoyed by it the way they should.
Yes.
I find that depressing.
But I don't know why it's so expensive to put on musicals, because everybody knows you can get like a great production of Cats with just one insane teacher and the 12 worst people in your high school.
Yeah, should they be like, is there some world where we merge reality TV with musicals? Or like, do we get somehow like Zinn pouches or something in the musical?
Yeah, sort of like product placement.
Wait, whoa. Didn't we do that? Didn't we merge reality TV with musicals? Didn't they do that with Cop Rock?
No, it was not a quote-unquote reality.
No, but it was supposed to be like Cops, sort of like, I mean, it was supposed to be Law and Order with music, but it was also like right at the same time of Cops, so it sort of had that same feel.
And now I'm just thinking of a reality show that I will never, ever want to watch.
Cops?
No.
Oh.
where all the contestants must do everything in song.
Oh, gosh.
Like some stupid Big Brother thing, but they all must do everything in song.
I don't know, but I think I'd actually watch that.
The first episode, perhaps, but depending on how inane the activities they have to do are.
Chopping broccoli, chopping broccoli, chopping broccoli, broccoli, chopping broccoli.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Dana Carvey. That was Dana Carvey.
So,
Dope Ash
Dope
Music,
Ash
great
Music.
to see you. Great to see you. Much love. Yeah, I'd be all about that too. I'd want to see it for the the inevitable goth and punk people that they would have on to throw off the balance
Musical
of the
vibe?
house. Yeah. That would be that would be where I would be at with it.
Could you imagine if they took someone that's an actual musical person, but they're usually dressed up so much that putting them in regular street clothes they're not recognized and just dropping them in the middle of that?
Oh, that would be cruel. That would be beyond cruel.
Well, it would unless it's a case of like they're trying to hide. So normally they sing one genre, and now they're switching to like their favorite thing to listen to, but they don't actually sing it, so they sound.
Drop Adam Levine in and make him actually sing emo and goth music.
I was just thinking you have the inevitable Valley Girls and Dude Bros in there all doing boy band, hip hop, and pop. And then you have some random either Joe Schmo or punk or goth person that's just like, oh, great, they're going to break out with some grunge metal when they break out with opera.
Yes.
Oh, God, yes. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so the crossover, the crossover, the overlap in the Venn diagrams of goths and punks and opera singers is actually very large.
Well, of course, operas
very
have
large.
people dying and getting stabbed in the back and whisked off by witches and all sorts of things.
And it's also the level of vocal exercise and expertise and talent tends to appeal to goths and punks who are actually tend to be very intentional about how they sing.
I wasn't saying that it's going to be surprising to me. It's just going to be surprising to the people trying to do everything in some sort of poppy fashion. Someone just comes out of left field with something else, and they have their preconceptions.
Honestly, it would have the feel of the change that they did in the movie for Into the Woods, where everybody's doing your stylistic Broadway type song, and then there was one point where they just changed the tempo of the movie. You were like, okay, you're the bad guy.
Yeah. That's how you know when the bad guy comes on stage. It's the tempo change and the drop to a minor key.
And the green light. Don't forget the green light if it's Disney.
The green lighting. Yeah, the green lighting. Yep.
Or they start singing like the Beatles.
That too.
All right.
All right, so I'm feeling that this is going to be less of a travesty than it could potentially be. But they really should find a really well-known singer and sneak them in disguise or without their makeup or whatever.
Oh, in this very made up reality TV show that we're making
That has not
up.
happened. We're just dreaming it up out of thin air.
Next writer's strike, let's pitch it.
All right, we'll do that. So it's what, 2 Thursdays from now?
Right, exactly. No, we would never undermine a writer's strike like that.
No.
We would never ever
I mean,
do that.
we stopped writing our own scripts when they did that.
Yeah, and we just kind of never started again.
If we don't want to write our own scripts in support, what makes you think we want to write their script?
Right? All right. Back to the show.
Right.
We only are on the second question.
How do we,
Actually, you know what might work? Because this has really sort of revived the finances of
Hypothetical
professional
reality
sports.
TV.
Legalized gambling, right?
Ooh.
I'm seeing West Side Story. I got $5,000 on the Sharks over the Jets. Come on, Maria!
Yeah, $500 says Fontaine doesn't make it to Act 3.
I'll take that bet. All right, here is your last quote, and it's from someone anticipating leaving it all behind.
I ask God to please let me take my dog with me.
That person was one of many people convinced that what heavenly event
the
was going to
rapture.
take place this week.
The rapture.
The rapture, that's right, Coop. The rapture, that is the ascending of all the holy people to heaven, was supposed to happen this week. Oh no, what if that's what was happening to Trump at the escalator? The rumor went big on TikTok, hashtag Rapture Talk, and it all started from this one guy who said God came to him in a dream and told him the rapture would finally happen on September 23rd and or 24th, which is weird, since when is God uncertain about dates?
What?
Right?
Wait, we covered this yesterday. The reason is because no mortal man shall know the day or the time. That's why God had to be unclear about which day it would be, so that he wouldn't know the day.
Okay, that is, yeah.
Ha! I was paying attention yesterday.
It's like a plumber, you know what I mean? I'll be there between these hours.
Right.
The rapture, they gave us a window.
Like your cable provider, yeah.
I didn't know much about this whole thing, so I was amazed to find out that in the rapture, when it happens, eventually, it's not one of these like transcendental like soul things. You literally, your physical body floats up into the air and all the way up, right, when you're raptured. So I didn't know
That leaves your clothes
couldn't
behind,
get
I
to
think.
heaven if you're inside.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah, apparently. It's like, think if the rapture happens, right? It finally happens, the prophecies come true, and all of those otherwise virtuous people who do not get to heaven because they're just like bumping up against the roof, or tangled in the light fixture.
So even if you're like Mother Teresa, but you're inside your condo.
Right.
Also, one-word question, airplanes.
Yeah, oh
What
God.
if there's like an airplane between you and
Yeah,
heaven?
can you imagine you've lived a life of pure virtue, never giving into temptation, and you're on your way to heaven, and boom, you get sucked into a jet engine.
Do you like keep hitting your head on the ceiling like
Until you
when
make
you're
it
in a video
outside?
game and like you keep hitting the wall?
Exactly, keep hitting the wall, you're stuck.
And then, or do you eventually?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the upward suction is like. So can you like bounce along the ceiling to get to a window?
Can we reverse Santa Claus it? Can we
just,
go
like,
on the
climb
chimney?
down the chimney,
Yeah.
head on up. Yeah, I guess
Does
so.
it make the slide whistle noise? Because if it does, I'm on board.
Yeah, Gideon puts down his trumpet, picks up one of those. Yeah, okay. Bill, how did Coop do on our quiz?
Coop did really well. 3 in a row. He's a winner.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Coop. People are shouting your name. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much. Go Cubs, Chicago.
Go Cubs. Bye-bye. final panel, it is time for you to answer some questions about this week's news. Adam, the Journal of the American Bar Association recently published a paper exploring the idea that who might soon be able to be witnesses in court.
I've got an awful feeling about this.
Dead people.
Really quick, one time I was in Milwaukee. And I was really
AI.
hungover.
What'd you say?
AI.
AI. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, AI.
And I was looking for a pub to go to.
Sure.
Me and my brother. And for some reason, we couldn't find a pub anywhere. And I was like, quick, I found one over there. And I started running towards this building. And my brother was like, Adam, that's the American Bar Association.
Well, that's what it's called.
It's a different kind of bar. It's not AI, is it?
It's not AI.
Okay, it's not
Is
AI.
it pets?
It is pets.
Oh, wow.
It's animals. Everybody knows that you should never murder someone in front of
Okay.
a parrot, right? Basic Murderer 101. We all know.
Yeah, they'll
But now you might have to worry about all your pets diving you out. Pretty soon now, AI will be able to translate animal communication into English, right? We can understand what they're saying. And lawyers are already trying to figure out how to bill them. Oh, I'm sorry, no. I mean, my mistake. I mean whether their testimony will be admissible in court. And how, if that happens, how do you treat an animal witness?
I don't
Objection,
trust
he's
Kevin on the
badgering the
stand.
witness. Overruled, it's
No.
a badger.
Will they allow hostile witnesses? And by hostile witnesses, I mean cats.
Yes.
Because cats are just going to send everybody down the river just because
Yeah.
they're
Those
a-holes.
are their cats.
Are
That's why you
confusing
don't
this
trust-
entire
Huh? What?
I saw witnesses. Someone had a honey badger.
I was gonna say, is that why you don't trust Kevin on the stand?
No, Kevin's a cat.
Exactly.
Kevin specifically is a cat with arresting judgment.
Okay.
story with just the next Disney movie?
Yeah. Did you drop acid and watch Zootopia?
Raise your hands and show we're strong.
I mean, okay, I'm not saying I didn't drop acid and watch Zootopia, but I never actually had that idea.
Uh-huh.
Those who know the right from.
Focus features an immigrant that is scared.
Or they'll pro an eyewear that's
NPR and WBEZ Chicago. This is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Bill Curtis. We are playing this week with Casey Shornima, Nagin Farsad, and Adam Burke. And here again is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks, everybody. Now it's time for the Wait, Don't Tell Me Bluff, the listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT to play our game on the air. Hi, you are on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Paxton from Duluth, Georgia.
Hey, Paxton from Duluth. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. What do you do there in Duluth, Georgia?
I am a Doctor of Physical Therapy student at Georgia State University.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. And do you have an ambition of like
Kinesiology.
who you want to work with as a physical therapist?
Yeah, I thought I did when I got into school, and then I got to actually work in a clinic, and I realized I have no idea.
Oh, really? Yeah. So you're just absolutely headed straight for that career, and all of a sudden you start doing it, and you're like, I don't know. Paxton,
Oh, yeah.
welcome to the show. You're going to play the game in which you have to tell truth from fiction. Bill, what is Paxton's topic?
Fishtail.
Fishermen classically have been known to tell tall tales, but this week we saw in the news a real fishing story we had trouble believing was real, but apparently it is. Our panelists are going to tell you about it. Pick the one who is telling the truth, and you'll win our prize, the Wait Waiter of your choice on your voicemail, and a 75-pound trout I caught just last week. Really?
You right? No, I believe you.
Are you ready to play?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. First, let's hear from Adam Burke.
For decades, the talk of the town among ardent fishermen in picturesque Warner's Hollow, Tennessee, has been the old Commodore, a legendary enormous blue catfish said to inhabit the waters of nearby Warner's Lake. He's got to be 150 pounds, estimates local Thad Plover, who claims to have almost landed the behemoth on several occasions. He's a wily one. It felt like he was toying with me. The mystery of the Commodore's elusiveness was solved this week thanks to Mallory Thwaite, who, when cleaning out her recently deceased grandfather's house, found a 7-foot motorized catfish complete with remote control. It didn't take long for Thwaite to realize her grandfather's engineering career, plus his lifelong and oft-stated hatred of fishermen, made him the perfect culprit for creating the waterborne myth that's bedeviled regional casters for so long. I found diary entries where he'd gloat about making guys fall out of their boats trying to catch him, she says. I think I will carry on his work, because let's face it, he has a point.
The old Commodore. A legendary catfish turns out to be a robotic hoax. Your next story of someone gone fishing comes from Casey Shornima.
Following the popularity of apps like T and Are We Dating the Same Guy, which are designed to help women navigate liars and cheats in the dating world, Alondra Davis set off to take on another ubiquitous problem in many straight women's dating lives. Did he actually catch the fish he's holding in his dating profile? Alondra, who grew up hunting and fishing, moved to Atlanta for college. She was initially excited to find so many guys on dating apps holding their catches. But upon going on dates with them, she found that many of those men did not actually catch the fish they were holding in their profile picture. I'd ask them what kind of bait they used, and they just stare at me and say, warm? So Alondra launched the Fish or Phony app on her college campus at Georgia Tech. She said anyone can post a picture of a guy with a fish on the app, and anonymous sources confirm or deny whether the guy caught the fish. She added that they, quote, aren't trying to embarrass anyone, not that you can embarrass a guy proudly holding a 12-inch trout.
A new app that fact-checks fish being held up in dating profiles. Your last hook, line, and sinker story comes from Nagin Farsad.
Time to toss out our preconceived notions about redfish. I know we all think of them as illiterate idiot fish, but this week, shocking news came out. Redfish are covered in secret written messages on their beautiful slimy skin. More and more redfish are being found with spots spelling out letters and messages. Apparently, these letters and symbols are like the fish equivalent of freckles, but unlike human freckles, they can spell words. One fish had an angler's initials on it. Another said, I love you. And even more moving, another said, turd. Now, what does it all mean? Is God telling fishermen that he loves them and also turds? Andrew Brown, an angler and redfish freckle connoisseur, self-proclaimed because no one should be a formal redfish freckle connoisseur, thinks that the fish are actually here to tell us something. Quote, they have this connection with our world and pop culture. They're trying to tell us something. We just have to slow down and observe. Move over, astrology. Fish freckles are here.
Ooh. All right, one of these stories about...
I really want it to be B. I like A a lot, but I think it's B. I just don't. C just makes no sense to me. C sounds like AI slop art to me. So the next report of the rapture will come via fit. You're funny, cat. You're funny.
They're not mortal man.
We found in the news, was
They
it
are.
from Adam Burke? Turns out the legendary catfish of northern Wisconsin, the old Commodore, turned out to be just a remote-controlled hoax from Casey, an app that fact-checks the fish that men brag about in their dating profiles, or from Nagin, secret messages being found.
I think I heard
on the body
about,
markings
like,
of the elusive redfish.
I think I've heard of the app, Fish or Phony. Like, because I saw that and my first thought is, oh yeah, and birds aren't real.
Which of these is a real fishing tale that we found in the week's news.
Yeah, I think it's the redfish story.
You think it's the redfish with the weird messages on their tails. All right, well, to find out the correct answer, we spoke to someone very close to that real story.
Catching a fish is very exciting, but catching one with a heart shape or a smiley face, that's just even more special.
That was Andrew Brown. He is the founder of Drum Spots, who was the first to start tracking the unusual redfin fish spots. Congratulations, you got it right. You earned a point for Nagin, and you have won our prize.
Okay, did you actually know that, or was that a guess?
That was a guess.
Okay.
I'm not cheating by having previous knowledge that I did not.
That is not cheating. We all know that's not cheating. Oh, man. That is crazy, though. Like, that can't. Someone's got to be breeding them and then releasing them.
It was a guess because out of the 3 stories, that is the one that I would have most likely looked at and said, so this belongs in the Weekly World News, and would have moved on. The other 2 I would have stopped to read.
Okay, that is a valid method of making a choice for this. I'm working on how. How? Like, how/why? But
because they're preparing to be able to deliver pixelated messages for us via scale mail.
Scale mail? Why?
Because I could.
Where was the peanut gallery on that one? That one should have been his. I
was in the comments with another one. I didn't work close to as good.
I always thought that emojis were a bit fishy.
Yes.
I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even with you two. You two are in such rare form.
Of course you can't even with us, because when you add you in, then it's all odd.
We weren't odd enough as it was.
I mean, yeah.
Right. I was going to say, you don't need me to make you two odd.
I fully acknowledge this, but mathematically speaking, 1 is 3, that means it's odd. So you can't even.
No,
I know what the problem was.
What?
They fed the fish apple slices.
That's where the missing apple slice went.
I am gonna need help with that one. What?
Apple slices. They fed them apple slices.
Oh my
Except
god.
for they grabbed the product, not the fruit.
Apple bites.
Yep. You know, the bright side is that this is being recorded this time, so you can go back to this area later and be like, what was that joke that I need to write and use later?
I'm leaving this one alone. We did this here. I'm leaving it here. If the public doesn't find it, that's on them.
What? You don't want to take scale mail and go ask people what kind of mail the various creatures deliver?
Nope. Aside from which, blank, 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 armor joke, blank, blank, blank. Crap, I can't come up with it now. If I'm gonna do these jokes, I'd need to defend myself, get a new type of armor, maybe some scale mail.
Nah. Use some hide armor because I'd rather not be seen.
Ooh.
The rogue says, I'm gonna use my hide armor. What do you mean? Hide in shadows.
Meanwhile, poor squishy sorcerer sitting there going, you get armor?
Right. Need to remember the scale mail joke for the mermaids next year. Yeah, okay, yes. That is true.
Hey, wizards get armor. It's a choice, armor or leg.
Being as last night I was effectively the most injured.
Why are wizards so squishy? Okay, before we fall too far down a before we fall too far down a Dungeons and Dragons rabbit hole, let's get back to the game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. And now the game we call Not My Job. Cynthia Nixon had her first on-screen role at just 8 years old, pretending to be a junior horse racing champion on To Tell the Truth. She has been a working actress ever since, but became an icon in 1998 when she was cast as Miranda in Sex and the City. And she wrapped up Miranda's story this year on the sequel show, And Just Like That. But you can still see her on HBO's The Gilded Age. Cynthia Nixon, welcome to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, despite all those huge, enormous, well-known hits that I just mentioned, I know you because I was a theater guy.
Sex and the City's been around that long.
And you were and are a legend because you were the only person to ever star in 2 Broadway shows at the same time.
Well, star would be generous,
Okay.
I would say. Because obviously my roles were confined in some way, otherwise I would not be able to have done the first act of one, the second act of the other, and then the third act of the first one again.
I just want to know how this logistically works. So you did the first act, you appeared in the first act of Hurly Burly, right?
Yes.
David Ray play, great play,
Yes.
amazing cast,
Yes.
legendary cast. Then you would walk off stage and run out the theater door, and how far was it to the next
I would
theater?
not run. I would change my clothes, and I would walk 2 blocks away, and I would walk through the Edison Hotel, and then I would wait, and then I would go on at the real thing, and then I would kill a lot more time, and then I would take my curtain call, and then I would change again, go back to Hurly Burly. My character, who was an innocent runaway, by the third act had become a street hooker, so I did like very garish makeup, and then I would wait until the very last scene, which was with William Hurt and I in the very last scene of Hurly Burly, which would be, I think, after 11 o'clock at that point.
Right.
Wow. I love the notion of you walking like looking prim and proper to the one play and then coming back in your sex worker outfit and someone seeing both and going, man, this city's rough.
Oh, yeah. Happens so quickly to the nice young girl. Wow. We of course, will ask you about Sex and the City. So you were cast, it's amazing to me that it was this long ago. 1998 was when Sex and the City went on the air. And when you were cast as Miranda, did you have any idea what kind of phenomenon it would become?
No, I mean, we knew there was nothing like it on television, but also HBO at that point, you know, The Sopranos hadn't happened. They did not do original programming, really. But by the second season, they put us on the cover of Time magazine with a slogan that said, "Who needs a husband?" And by that point, we weren't just entertainment. We had fully entered the zeitgeist.
There are so many women, including, I believe, some here, grew up with Sex and the City, giving them the idea of the kind of life they should aspire to as an independent woman in the city. And my question to you is, how do you feel about that?
Well, Women are often coming up to me and saying, I moved here because of your show. And I do feel a little guilty. Like, it's, people have also said that all the unrealistic things that happened on our show, the most unrealistic was that there were that many attractive single men, just, anywhere you walk. And I do sometimes feel a little responsible that women who watch and love the show think that actually they're really supposed to be wearing high heels 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Casey, didn't you say that you grew up watching Sex and the City?
Yes, I grew up watching Sex and the City, and then I moved to the city, so thank you for that.
And how is it?
I hope it didn't disappoint.
How has your real life in New York City measured up to premium cable?
It's honestly, I recently rewatched the episode where Miranda has chlamydia, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And let me say it's measured up. No, I'm kidding.
So wait a minute. So wait a minute. When people say, well, I'm more of a Miranda, that's what they mean?
Right.
No, that's the results you get back from
Miranda. Yeah. We actually absolutely have to talk to you about the other HBO show you've been doing, which is The Gilded Age. Takes place in Victorian era New York, also known as No Sex in the City. You talked about the high heels that all your characters were wearing in Sex in the City. So what's more fun, the costumes in Sex in the City or the costumes in The Gilded Age?
Oh my! I mean, the corsets are formidable. Sure. I'm not gonna say they're not. Speaking of shoes, a number of us do. We have our little lace-up boots, but few of us wear them. Particularly, few of us of a certain age. Yeah, there's a lot of people in Uggs and a lot of people in clogs.
So you mean to tell me if the camera were to pan down to Aunt Ada's feet and we saw underneath the skirt there'd be Uggs?
Every time I arrive on set to shoot a scene, that is my first question. Can you see my feet?
Right. Well, Cynthia Nixon, it is a joy to talk to you, and we have asked you here to play a game that this time we're calling.
You're a New York Nixon. Meet the New York
Knicks.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. You grew up in New York, still live there, so you should be able to handle 3 questions about New York's most beloved and or most disappointing basketball team, the New York Knicks. Answer 2 to 3 questions and you will win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who is Cynthia Nixon playing for?
James Lee of Seattle, Washington.
All right. Here... You ready? I'm judging from your reaction that you are not perhaps the most avid basketball fan.
I am not, although I will tell you a fun fact that, Miranda dated Dr. Robert Blair Underwood, who was the sports doctor, fictionally, for the Knicks.
Right. So means you were practically in the locker room. Okay.
Exactly.
Here is your first question. When LeBron James was leaving Cleveland, the Knicks pulled out all the stops to try to convince LeBron James to come to New York and play. They even did what? A, they had Times Square officially renamed LeBron James Square. B, they sent the actual Broadway cast of Phantom of the Opera to his house in Cleveland to perform for him. Or C, they had Edie Falco and James Gandolfini film a new secret ending to The Sopranos just for him.
C.
What was the middle one?
Middle one was sending the entire Broadway cast of Phantom of the Opera to his house to welcome him.
Would he care? Would he care to have them?
I think it was C.
I'm going to go with the first one. I'm going to go with renaming Times Square.
You're going to LeBron James Square. I don't blame you. I find this hard to believe, too, but they had Edie Falco and James Gandolfini film a scene.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It is Tony. I hope this is still available somewhere. I have not been able to find it. But it has Tony and Carmela Soprano trying to find LeBron a nice apartment. And yet he went to Miami. Who knew? Okay. You have 2 more chances.
Okay.
James Dolan is the owner of the New York Knicks and Madison Square Garden where they play. He's an innovator in sports entertainment. For example, he uses facial recognition technology at Madison Square Garden to do what? A, identify attractive audience members and make sure they're seated courtside where the cameras can see them. B, make sure any couple is legally married to each other before showing them on the kiss cam. He was a pioneer in that, maybe. Or C, find any of the many lawyers suing him and prevent them from entering the building.
I'm going
Number
A.
3.
There you are. That's right. The answer was C. James Dolan gets sued a lot. Okay, here's the next question. A New York Times reporter credited what event with loosening the tension in the locker room before a pivotal playoff game against their rivals, the Pacers, last year? Was it A, quote, an epic fart in the locker room? B, the coach giving all the players popsicles? Or C, the entire team joining in a karaoke performance of Katy Perry's Roar?
I'm going A, because it's a fart
I say
joke.
roar.
You say that the entire New York Knicks, all of them, gathered around a karaoke machine.
I think
sang along.
Yep.
I think since it is so classy that roar is what she calls a fart.
Is that what you're encouraging me? You're encouraging me to
I believe
go
that's
for
what I believe that's what they call farts in the Gilded Age.
Did somebody roar?
Did somebody roar?
Yeah.
Who let the lion in?
All right, I don't think it's the popsicles. Why would that matter? Let's go with the fart.
It was, of course, an epic fart.
Excellent.
The New York Times reporter refused to reveal who was responsible for the, quote, epic fart that broke the tension and led the team to a big win. But it is true that Jalen Brunson walked down to the court looking 15 pounds lighter. Bill, how did the legendary Cynthia Nixon do in our quiz?
A win, 2 out of 3. The fart wins.
Cynthia Nixon is a Grammy, Tony, and Emmy-winning performer who you can see on HBO's The Gilded Age, which is streaming right
All
now.
she needs
Cynthia
now
Nixon,
is
what
an
an
Oscar.
absolute joy to talk to you. Thank you so much
Get
for being
an
with
EGOT.
us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Take care, Cynthia. Bye-bye. In just a minute, Bill heads back to the beach in our Listener Limerick Challenge. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to join us on the air. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't.
It's time. So you can find the
undonated
NPR News Quiz. I'm Bill Curtis. We're playing this week with Adam Burke, Casey Shornima, and Nagin Farsad. And here again is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. In just a minute. In just a minute, we thought we would try something new this week, and then we decided not to. So here comes our Listener Limerick Challenge. If you'd like to play, give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Right now, panel, some more questions for you from the week's news. Nagin, Meta, you know them, recently had a huge live event that included CEO Mark Zuckerberg himself demonstrating their new $800 AI-powered smart glasses. But one thing didn't quite work during this presentation. What?
The smart glasses.
Exactly right. The $800 AI smart glasses. Zuckerberg stood on stage in front of this packed crowd come to see his great new product, and all he demonstrated was how good his glasses are at dropping 4 phone calls in a row. Not a great start. I mean, I already have glasses that cannot answer a phone call.
Right.
Also, do we need another piece of tech that our mothers can't use? You know what I mean? You'll be
Right.
going, Mom, how are your glasses upside down? Like, how do you... No, it's the one with the microphone, Ma. Ma, it's the one with, I'm hanging up.
Yeah. So the Facebook tech guy who was in charge of all this was fired, of course, but he got a new job the next day running the escalators at the UN.
Should have seen that
there's a new
joke coming.
trend taking over men's fashion. Shirts are changing. They're getting way more what?
Mesh.
No. Did you say that out of fond wish or fear?
She had a lusty look in her eyes.
Just want to see some nips. Okay.
They're getting a lot
shorter.
more.
Yes, shorter shirts. Grab your scissors, fellas, because the new look is short shirts. According to the New York Times, the market is now flooded with tees and button-downs that end just barely below or sometimes even above the waist, because why should the pleasure of bending forward and having your shirt right up to show everyone your butt crack be only enjoyed by plumbers?
Right?
Even high fashion brands are jumping in on this, with Louis Vuitton offering a short-hemmed shirt for $1,600. Look, I will sell you a long-hemmed shirt from Target and a pair of scissors for only $200.
Yeah, this is all fashion is a scam. We're going to charge you more for less of it.
It's just amazing. Yes.
Oh yeah, this is shrinkflation.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Less shirt, more money. Some experts call the popularity of short shirts a response to the trend toward big pants. So here you go. Ready? Perfect outfit. Small shirt, big pants, tiny hat, huge clown shoes, medium gloves. Nagin, a question for you.
Yeah.
Nagin, an amazing accomplishment in ichthyology and ocean
The
science.
style should be called
first
the gut
time
check.
ever.
Oh,
leopard
yeah,
sharks
really.
were recorded mating in the wild. But even more amazing than that, in the video, the leopard sharks are seen doing what?
The leopard sharks.
Yeah.
No clue.
Are seen lighting a cigarette after mating.
I'll go with kissing, sure.
They're just like us.
Yeah, exactly. I will give you a hint.
Yeah.
It turned out it was a menage a shark.
Oh my God, they're doing they're like doing
Threesomes and
threesomes.
more.
Yes, they were having a threesome in a true scientific breakthrough. 2 male sharks and 1 female shark were filmed doing the kind of thing you can usually only see on OnlyFins.
Were the sharks like in their kind of early 20s and like still experimenting? Yeah.
The video has shaken up the thinking around shark mating, and now we
it.
also have to rethink the lyrics to Baby Shark, right? Because there's Baby Shark, Mama Shark, Daddy Shark, Mama and Daddy's special friend Shark.
It does sound like
Zombie shark.
a weird deleted scene from Jaws. Have you ever seen a shark's eyes?
Oh, we were in the water for 2 days. The sharks were having threesomes all around us.
We're gonna need a bigger bed.
Ow. Why?
Coming up, it's Lightning Fill in the Blank, but first it's the game where you have to listen for the rhyme. If you'd like to play on air, call or leave a message at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924.
Polly Sharks.
You can come see us most weeks here at the Studebaker Theater in downtown Chicago, and you can also catch us on the road. We will be in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii on October 9th and 10th, so why not consider joining us in Paradise? Those points won't cash in themselves. We'll also be in Costa Mesa, California on November 6th. For tickets to all of our live events, just go over to nprpresents.org. And if you like our show but kind of wish it was only 8 seconds long, well, follow us on TikTok. We're at WaitWaitNPR. Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Alyssa from Morristown, New Jersey.
Morristown, New Jersey happens to be near where I grew up. Near where I grew up, I should say.
You haven't grown up yet, Peter.
Finished, sadly, that process, despite what other people may think. But yes, I grew up quite near there. What do you do there?
I'm a child psychologist.
Wow. What? I'm sorry. It's like 50 years too late, but I'm glad to meet you. Well, welcome to our show, Alyssa. You're going to play our Listener Limerick Challenge. Bill Curtis is going to read you 3 news-related limericks with a last word or phrase missing from each. If you can fill in that last word or phrase correctly, and 2 of the limericks will be a winner. You ready to play?
I'm so ready.
Okay, so are we. Here is your first limerick.
Gelato's my favorite by far, but from scooping some, I have been barred. Now I summon my id to get mad at this lid, 'cause I cannot get into the
jar.
Jar, yes.
Jar today.
Talenti is a fancy brand of gelato that comes in all kinds of delicious flavors. Well, at least they look delicious. No one can actually taste them because the jars are so hard to open. This week, the Washington Post reported on all the solutions people have posted to social media: screwdrivers, hammers, saws. It's terrible. Worse, the Talenti brand of hot fudge comes inside a hand grenade.
All right, I object
I kind of want to try it now. I kind of want to open it by dropping it from.
Open just fine.
What?
I said this feels very false because I get Talenti and I get the jar open just fine. They just don't understand how to open a jar.
I mean, yeah. Well, okay, you have to imagine who most of the people who get Talenti are.
Thanks, Flinty.
Huh?
You know the vanilla bean ice cream I really like?
In the plastic.
Yes, the one in the plastic jar. That's what I can't open, which is why I'm sitting here going, what is wrong with them?
I have had a couple of experiences with Talenti jars that were difficult to open and chew.
Isn't that?
But I'm also like, I don't know that I have met many jars that I can't open. I think the only jars that I've ever had that I couldn't open are jars that I closed and then put in the fridge, and there was a temperature differential, so they closed even tighter.
Yeah.
Those are the only jars I have not been able to open.
And you know, taking the jar out and running it under hot water fixes that temperature difference. The jar again.
It does. But you don't want to.
That kind of defeats the purpose of eating the food in the jar. It works, but not as desired.
Percussive maintenance.
I'm sorry, percussive maintenance works. Sometimes it works really well and does what it's intended and
sometimes it works too well.
And it does what is not desired.
Right. All right, back to it. We're getting close to the end.
From a large height, like an eagle with a coconut. You know what I mean?
Gelato is not worth opening.
Really? You've tried it. You're like, no.
Yeah, just get an ice cream. That's what the sign is. Go get Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah. Is that what that word means in Italian?
Go get Ben.
Gelato means no.
There is no Jerry anymore.
The jars are clear. You can see the ice cream. That makes it worse because while you're trying and failing to get it like the sea salt caramel gelato, you're making eye contact with it the whole time, and it's taunting you. All right, here is your next limerick.
I like ink, if I'm telling the truth. It's not just for impetuous youth. I am going to town on my left canine's crown. I just got a tattoo on my tooth.
Tooth, right, that's it. So are you either bored with, traditional skin tattoos or you've just run out of room? Try the newly popular tooth tattoo. It's the hot new fashion trend that has the tooth fairy saying, yeah, that's staying under the pillow. Now, you might be thinking how painful that would be. No, it's not, because the designs are etched and then dyed onto crowns that are then fitted over your teeth. You can get anything tattooed on a tooth.
All right, I'm
butterfly, a bird, your partner's name, as long as your partner's name is Ed or something shorter.
Casey.
Yeah.
For example.
Tattooth.
You could do like both in the front teeth. Yeah. KC. That would be awesome, right?
So, but does it also kind of look like you have rotting teeth?
Well, a little
from
bit.
Like a short distance, I think you would look,
Yeah, you look like you're just dying. Or
yeah.
It turns out they're really artful designs. Yeah.
I thought I got a piercing in my tooth, but it was just a cavity.
No, it's okay. I just have gingivitis. It's fine.
All right, here is your last limerick.
The Hoff was as smooth as a day scotch. Now new lifeguards get kicked up a sleigh notch. They run down the beach with their teeth and hair bleached.
Baywatch.
We are launching a reboot of
Baywatch.
Baywatch, yes, Baywatch. Yeah. That hit show from the 1990s whose plots had to be simple because everything happened in slow motion. Is back. Fox has already greenlit the reboot of Baywatch to air next season. Now, if you never watched the original show, it centers around a bunch of lifeguards, or as we called them back then, beach narcs. And it had something for everyone. It was really great. It had action, it had melodrama, it had Pamela Anderson for guys who lied about being interested in the action and the melodrama.
I'm assuming they're rebooting it because of climate change. There's just so much more bay to watch.
Yeah, exactly. The bay that they're watching turns out to be like somewhere in West Virginia. It's gotten that far.
I was going to say, it's so shocking that, like, hot people in bathing suits can still get a TV show.
Whoa, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Right?
Bill, how did Alyssa do in our quiz?
Since we've been watching so carefully, she got them all right.
Congratulations. Alyssa, well done.
Thank you.
Say hello to my old haunts for me. Thank you so much for calling.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
Support for NPR and the Fall Offline and Secure with HC.
This message comes. Fees may apply.
Now, on to our final game, Lightning Fill in the Blank. Each of our players will have 60 seconds in which to answer as many fill in the blank first. The clock will start when I begin your first question, fill in the blank. After
Nagin has 4 KC, and Adam each have 2.
Okay, Nagin, that means you're in first place, and the other two are tied for second. So I will arbitrarily pick Adam to go first. The clock will start when I begin your first question, fill in the blank. After being pulled off the air last week, Blank made his return to late night on Tuesday.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Right. On Thursday, former FBI Director Blank was indicted by a grand jury.
Comey.
Yes, James Comey. This week, meteorologists warned the tropical storm Umberto could strengthen into a Category 3 blank.
Hurricane.
Yes, on Thursday, hundreds of senior military officers were ordered by Secretary of Defense Blank to meet in Virginia
Hegseth.
next week.
Pete Hegseth. Okay.
Pete Hegseth, yes. This week, a proposed wealth tax in France was called deadly for the economy by Blank.
Is it Macron?
No, not by Macron. It's by Europe's richest man. On Thursday, NASA confirmed potential launch dates for the Artemis 2 trip to the blank.
The moon?
Right.
Yeah.
This week, the woman who was caught cheating on camera at that Coldplay concert revealed that her husband found out about the affair because he was blank.
He was at a Maroon 5 concert.
No, he was at the same Coldplay concert with another woman.
Wow.
Last month, Kristen Cabot and Andy Byron went viral after they were put up on the big kiss cam at a Coldplay concert. And this week, Cabot revealed that at that moment, she was already separated from her husband. And in fact, he was at the same Coldplay concert with another woman. The news led the entire world to be like, please, 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 let the other woman be the other guy's wife.
Please.
Bill, how did Adam do in our quiz?
5 right, did very well. 10 more points. His total of 12 puts him in the lead.
All right. Casey, you're up next. Here we go. Fill in the blank. On Tuesday, international health agencies pushed back on President Trump's claims that Tylenol causes blank.
Autism.
Right. During the UN General Assembly, France declared its recognition of a blank state.
Gaza.
Palestinian, I'll give it to you. This week, the FBI said they were investigating a shooting at a blank facility in Dallas.
ICE.
Right. Wednesday, former Vice President Blank kicked off her book tour.
Harris.
Kamala Harris. Even though it had a permit to remain another 5 days, the National Park Service removed a statue of who holding hands from the National Mall.
Trump and Epstein.
On Thursday, doctors warned of the rise of a so-called nightmare bacteria immune to common blanks.
Antibiotics.
According to a new report, many sports are trying out referees that are blanks.
AI.
Well, I'll give it to you. Robots. This week, a man attempting to get out of a traffic ticket by giving police a fake name was arrested because he couldn't blank.
Remember the name?
Exactly right, Casey. Look at that. Her first time. Wow. But let me tell you about this guy. According to police, they originally pulled the man over because his muffler was too loud, and when they asked for ID, he said he didn't have it on him, but that his name was John Rardin. And when officers couldn't find that name in their system, they asked him to spell it, and he couldn't, so they realized it was a fake name. Here's the irony. The man's real name? Chrysanthemum, Mississippi, onomatopoeia. Bill, I think Casey did really well. Am I right?
It's the first time on the panel.
Okay.
She got 8
This
right.
is her first
16
time.
more points, a total of 18.
Wow.
Where'd she come from?
Well, I don't know. And how many does Nagin need to take it from Rookie of the Year over here?
7 to tie and 8 to win.
There you go, Nagin. This is for the game. On Wednesday, the White House warned federal agencies to prepare for massive layoffs in the event of a blank.
Shut
down.
Right. On Thursday, online shopping giant Blank agreed to a $2.5 billion settlement with the FTC.
Amazon.
Right. This week, several airports in Denmark were closed after unauthorized blanks entered their airspace.
Aliens.
I wish. Drones, probably from Russia. This week, at least 2 people were sent to the hospital in California after being attacked by blank.
Sharks in a threesome.
No, by, quote, a very mean squirrel. On Wednesday, one of the winners of the second largest blank jackpot in history came forward to collect his prize.
Lottery.
Lotto.
Yeah, Powerball jackpot. On Thursday, Ghostbusters and Honey, I Shrunk the Kid star Blank announced his return to acting.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis?
Right. This week, a man in China riding an electric scooter crashed into a temporary traffic light, and things got worse when he blanked.
Realized that he wasn't wearing any pants.
No. When he somehow got the traffic light stuck onto his head. Now, we don't know how exactly how this happened, but somehow this guy got his head all the way inside this traffic light. Which, by the way, was still on. When the police got there, he was like, stop. No, wait. Bill, did Nagin do well enough to
I don't appreciate the tone, Peter. Okay.
Quizzical. It was quizzical.
Very tight game. 4 right, 8 more points. 12 means she's tied with Adam, but guess who's the winner?
Hey!
Casey.
Well done, Casey.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Incredible.
Well, coming up, our panelists predict what will be the big new musical that's going to save Broadway. But first, let me tell you that Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Haircut Productions, Doug in absentia Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Godica writes our limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. Our tour manager is Shana Donald. Thanks to the staff and crew at the Studebaker Theater. BJ Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Dornbos, and Lillian King. Special thanks this week to Haned El Sheikhi and Monica Hickey. Peter Gwynn predicts the next rapture will be August 44th, 2543. Our visual host is Emma Choi. Technical direction is from Lorna White. Our CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chillock. And the executive producer of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is Mr. Michael Danforth. Now, panel, what's the musical that will save Broadway? Adam Burke.
Epstein! Exclamation point.
Nagin Farsad.
Phantom of the Miserable on the Roof.
And Casey Shernima.
Chicago, based on the movie, based on the musical, based on the play.
And if any of that happens,
I was going to say,
we'll ask you about
the Big
it.
Apple.
Wait, don't tell me.
Thank you so much, Bill
York
Curtis. Thanks
play.
to Nagin Farsad, Adam Burke, and congrats to Casey Shernima for a great debut on our show. Thanks to our fabulous audience here at the studio.
What were you going to say? I fail math. Yeah, that tracks.
I mistyped, hit enter, didn't notice about 30 seconds. Oh.
We'll get to that in a second.
This audience here at the Studebaker Theater in downtown Chicago. Thanks to all of you for listening wherever you might be. I'm Peter Sagal. We'll see you next week.
Bring.
This is NPR.
All right, so the scores are me trailing in third place with 34 points. Kat pacing out ahead of me with a good solid 39 points. And Chaotic Techno Wizard and the Peanut Gallery dominating with 40 points this week. Way to go.
I only got 30.
Huh?
In all honesty, the number of times that I would make that kind of a mistake adding up my hours at school, and the director would look at me and be like, could you please do this math again?
Right.
But it looks right. I understand it looks right, but I really need you to do this math again. Because the old time sheets, you had week 1, and you filled that out, and it was supposed to come out to roughly 40. And then you had week 2, and that was supposed to come out to roughly 40. So me seeing the two 40s would be like, okay, 40 in a third spot. It's like, please.
No.
I can pay you this. I can pay you this, and you can just have that as volunteer time, but please read math. Yeah.
16 times 2 plus 8 is 40.
Yes.
Yeah.
16 times 2 plus 8 is not 30.
No. Unless you're even if you're missing a pair of brackets. If you're missing a pair of brackets, then it's 160. Power square.
You have orange slices. You don't get to salt.
Power square. Power round. Cornbread are square.
Like I said, you got orange slices. You don't get to salt.
You won. You don't get to sulk.
That too.
Well, we have reached the end of the episode today. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Thank you, everybody in chat. Thank you, Just Be Crystal. Thank you, Dope Ash Productions, Dope Ash Music. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Master Rasta 420. Thank you, everybody in chat, and thank you, all you lurkers. Stick around for the raid. We're going to be raiding out to let me make sure I'm right about this. Oh, we're going to be raiding out to JB 1200 of the Sunday No Pants raid train. He's still going. So that's who we will be raiding out to momentarily. And as always, again, thank you everybody for being here. Now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA double deuces. We're out, y'all. Birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no cloud. The heat was high.